Chivalry is this Knight type's game, and tanking blows is his game. It is the Knight type debuting from Meta 8, NIT03 Armor Chariot, with a kit of Guard, Double Guard 500, Wield Legs, and the Hoplite leg ability, which buffs the leg shoot and melee resist stats relative for every defense skill equipped on self. Now, honestly, even though he is packing triple defense, and honestly, of the lesser used guard skills in the game, he does kind of make up for it to a degree, especially given a lot of buffs that guard-based parts have gotten in fairly recent. Guard is just a basic skill that when on the field will allow him to tank any and all incoming blows at the cost of him tanking it instead and losing the HP. Guard 500 simply does the same thing, but will also nullify a base 500 off the top, essentially when tanking incoming blows. But he does honestly have the HP to comp for it at almost 5,800 HP for the head, about 4,700 per arm, and almost 4,500 HP for the legs. However, something that does make Armor Chariot and the NIT type series just in general stand out compared to most other tanks and defenders is the fact that they are using Wield Legs, which gives them a little bit more of an edge on the field when it comes to trying to get to the center line quickly to intercept blows and set up a defense stance to protect allies. Pretty solid stats across the board, even for what a Wield Leg offers. 3 heavy slots, which is kind of par for the course for a higher end Wield Leg like his. 1472 melee resist, 1411 shoot resist means he can tank hits relatively well. Pair the Guard 500 on top of that means he's going to have a pretty solid, he's going to be doing pretty solidly covering for himself without crippling himself within the first 1 to 3 turns essentially. And then if you pair the Hoplite ability on that honestly does boost those even higher, which means he has an even better time reducing the overall damage while he is on the field tanking blows for allies. Unfortunately, however, with his evade at 417, evading and grazing attacks is honestly going to be the last thing on his mind, which makes an already very niche leg across the board of wheel even harder to use efficiently no matter where you try to use it. So for these reasons, I do have to rate Armor Chariot a pretty solid 4.5 out of 10 across the board. He's got the HP department and the shoot and melee resist damage reduction departments down pat. So what he can do very well. Unfortunately, because of his leg type and the matches and the very poor choices of match that it has, it does make using him very difficult and very tricky, especially as a pure set. As mixed parts, on the other hand, I would rate him just a tad higher at a 5 out of 10 roughly. Again, because of the fact that Guards and Guard 500 have received a little bit of a buff in recent thanks to patches and updates kind of rebalancing the game just a little bit, you can honestly use them fairly efficiently, I guess, depending on how you choose to put your defender together. Not that I still openly condone using Guard or Guard 500, since using Perfect Guard, Melee Guard, Shoot Guard, and so on are honestly more efficient. If in the case that you do end up having to use one of these, I would honestly recommend pairing it up with his leg, or maybe even a tank leg in some cases, if you have to, or even another leg such as, say, Red Matador, who also has the Hoplite ability, but with better mobility and better overall terrain coverage.